Hey guys, what's good? I just did a video a little bit ago, and I said I was going to bring up something about the Democrat that was assassinated by someone impersonating police officers in Minnesota, and it all happens after she voted against the bill that would give illegal immigrants health care
What's up,
in
guys?
Minnesota.
Spenny, a story directly from the pit of hell, the heart of darkness, a sick and twisted worldview of absolute and total extremism, leftist radicals slaughtering and killing in political assassinations.
I'm gonna tell you now, guys. I'm telling you, man. The normal people in this country, it's time to stand up. We got to get rid of each and every illegal immigrant and all these stupid liberals that have been brainwashed. They need to know the facts. Some of them need to be in prison, including this guy.
In the state of Minnesota. It's all connected to the No Kings rally. There's probably one near you.
Dude, I'm so tired of hearing about this No Kings rally. Look, it's Donald Trump's birthday. It is also the Army's 250th birthday. Donald Trump is not doing the military for him. It's the military's birthday. And that is truly irritating, seeing all these morons that listen to these elite leftists, and there's elite people on the right that are pushing this nonsense. They do it to other countries around the world and get rebels to overthrow the governments. You think they don't do it here? I know, guarantee you there's probably 20 Republicans in Congress that have got their hands in stuff like this.
Funded by the Walmart heiress, Christy Walton. Ladies and gentlemen, get the hell away from these people and these rallies. These individuals are unstable. It's incredibly sick, and this is an absolutely horrible story. Here we go. In Minnesota, there was a very contentious and very important vote to kick criminal aliens off of Medicare.
They should never get
free health care. Legislature passes bill repealing Minnesota Care, is what it's called, for illegal immigrant adults. Of course, this will...
Honestly, you ask me, a lot of American citizens shouldn't get it. To be truthful, I think the only people that should be allowed to get it are the ones that are disabled and physically unable to work, and people that have worked or do work. That should be the only... If I've paid into the system almost 30 years now, whenever I'm allowed to retire, there won't be a damn dollar left for me. You know why? Because they gave it to all these illegals and all these sorry asses sitting on their butt, spitting out kid after kid after kid just to get a bigger paycheck, and then want to know why they live in the ghetto while their kids out there killing other kids. Raise your kids.
Will mean that less criminal aliens travel to Minnesota, and the criminal aliens that are there will lose health care. Good. There shouldn't be goodies to incentivize criminal aliens. It passed.
Minnesota might as well be another country, dude, because they got so many Arabs, so many Palestinians, so many Mexicans. Dude, it ain't nothing but an immigrant nation.
By a single vote, and that vote was actually from a Democrat leader. Melissa Hortman is her name. Here she is talking about that vote. This is Melissa Hortman. Again, she's a Democrat in Minnesota. She breaks down in tears.
I was about to say, she looks like she's about to cry.
Knowing, most likely, that this would put a target on her back. She said so in this press conference. I think she meant metaphorically or politically. What she probably never realized was how literal that target was going to be. Again, they were successful in stripping criminal aliens of healthcare privileges in Minnesota, something that was bankrupting the state. Now, Tim Walz, the governor of Minnesota, just a week ago, told Democrats that they need to get meaner, they need to get nastier, and they need to get more aggressive.
Yeah, and then the second Republicans and normal citizens stand up and do that exact thing to him. See, that's the thing with these politicians. They got all this security detail and all these people protecting them. No, You lose every one of your security details. You go out like a normal white man. You colonizer. That's what you push. You push white supremacy. You say it's everywhere, Mr. White Man. Now go catch that meaner that you want everybody to be.
Ladies and gentlemen, this morning in Minnesota, that same Democrat who voted with Republicans to repeal health care for criminal aliens, free goodies from criminal aliens, was shot.
Park, Minnesota.
It is a horrifying detail of what happened. Here we go. A man dressed as a police officer went to Melissa Hortman's house. And then he also went to the house of a senator, another Democrat named John Hoffman. He was dressed as a police officer, and he had a vehicle that was a police vehicle.
That's what I was going to say.
So,
I heard it had blue lights and everything.
It's Minnesota suburbs. You answer the door. There's a cop there. What does he need? And he opened fire. He shot both of them. Police say it was a targeted assassination attempt. There's now a massive shelter-in-place order, and that assassination attempt now, we are sad to confirm, was successful.
Now, they said, I seen where it said 5:30 a.m. is when this happened. Did neighbors hear gunshots and they called the police? Somehow, I guess she already had security detail, because from what I'm understanding, he left out the back door and got away from the cops. So obviously, there had to be some kind of security detail or something, because how would he still be there and the cops are there? You would have figured he would have shot and left. So I don't see how the cops got there and he went out the back door, is what I heard.
As Melissa Hortman succumbed to her injuries and passed away. Now, Tim Walz is here after calling for further aggression and meaner
Mr. Tim
violence
Walz.
From left-wingers from his base. Tim Walz is here on camera saying that it's a horrible, unspeakable tragedy that unfolded.
Oh, but you said to get meaner, so guess what? They got meaner, because I almost guarantee you it was an illegal immigrant, or it was one of your own, because Democrats have no problem eating their own. They will eat another Democrat in a heartbeat.
Well, that's very strange. He's the one fomenting this violence. And of course, Tim Walz did not like the vote that Melissa just took.
Yeah, he also wants tampons in boys' bathrooms.
Necessarily, but wait till you see where this goes
Man,
next.
What you want,
I will
tampons?
show you the direct connection to Tim Walz. Melissa Hortman, she's a Democrat from Minnesota. She voted to repeal health care for criminal aliens. You can tell in this video that she knew there would be consequences. She was right. Melissa and her husband were just murdered. Democrat violence. Okay, so who was the murderer? Right? Melissa did the right thing, and she paid for it with her life. Centrist Democrats are up against actual assassinations. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you will be not shocked to learn that the details of who the killer is are all coming together. First off, this is the backseat of the killer's car. He had No Kings signs in the back of his car. This No Kings rally, as we've covered on the channel, is a far left-wing astroturfed billionaire-funded rally with a bunch of left-wing groups and organizations.
That's all it is.
It's an anti-Trump rally, and it is planned all across America. There are hundreds of No Kings rallies.
Yeah, there was supposed to be one in my city of Greensboro, North Carolina, but then they moved it to High Point, which is also having a Juneteenth parade or something. So they put a protest in with Juneteenth. And then also in Winston, they got a gay pride with this No Kings. Do y'all hear how stupid this sounds? I mean, we have got to get rid of these elite people like Walmart and Amazon and all these super uber rich. Dude, you're so rich, if you spent $10 million a day, you still wouldn't go broke. So Why do you need to continue getting money? We don't need it, because now you think that your shit don't stink and you can do whatever you want and you own this country when you don't. And I wish Americans would stand up and start just, we just gotta just cut off, like Hollywood. You see how we've cut that down? Y'all see how Bud Light went? Y'all see all that? You see how quick we shut their narrative down? We just need to cut off all these Hollywoods, all these elites. Now, you're never going to get rid of the Googles. You're never going to get rid of the YouTubes. I mean, you're just not. But to a degree, we got to stop letting this happen.
Rallies across the nation today. This individual, this wasn't random. The police officers have stated this was a search of the vehicle. We found the No Kings signs, we found a manifesto, and we found the identity of other lawmakers that this individual was going to target.
So, manifesto, does that mean he plans to die? And I'm sure some MSNBC or something will say it was some right-wing activist that did it. Meanwhile, he's got no kings in the back of their car. And that's the thing. A lot of these little fucking news anchors and stuff, you can't say that they can't think that someone's going to target them if they don't say the right thing on TV one day.
Here's a list of the people who are behind the No Kings protests today in the country. You can see just a collective of every Marxist group in the nation.
Yep.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, it gets worse. Get a load of this. Now the suspect has been identified. Suspect who killed
Looky there,
Hortman this morning has been identified as 57-year-old Vance Boatler.
Dude, was a Tim Walz appointee to one of the governor's boards. Like I said, that they will eat each other alive, and they will sit back and laugh and party over it. These people are demonic, man. They do not believe in God. They want you to kill your kids. They want to get rid of the middle class. They want it to be just us poor peasants and them rich elites. That's all they want. They want all the power. And Trump is stripping that power from them, and they hate it. They want all these illegal immigrants to take our tax money. That way they can take more tax money and spend it on other things, and therefore making us poor while importing a bunch of third world fucks. I'm sorry, excuse my language, but I'm done with the immigrants. All my neighbors are Hispanic. Yeah, they're legal, but honestly, 7-10 years ago, they wasn't here, and then all of a sudden, they're here, they're fucking taking over. They got to take over the whole fucking neighborhood. They got 4 houses and 5 lots, and it's like, dude, this is insane. It is annoying. But they at least know some English. All you stupid fucks coming here and not even attempting to learn the language, yeah, you deserve to get the hell out. Because this is not Nigeria. This is not Brazil. This is not Ukraine. This ain't Russia. This is none of that. We speak English here.
Boatler, law enforcement tells Julio Rosas.
Tim Walz might have had something to do with it.
Was a Tim Walz appointee.
Y'all heard about Hillary Clinton.
What a shock.
Y'all heard about Obama, Hillary Clinton.
On the board of governors. Here's Tim Walz's signature as a business member of the governor's workforce development. Look at that, Vance Boatler. In case you're wondering if that's for...
Wait a minute. Does that mean she knew him when she opened the door? If it was a Tim Walz appointee, she's a Democrat, lives in the same state as Tim Walz. Do you think that she recognized him and that's one reason? It didn't even have anything to do with the police car and the outfit?
Or fraudulent. Here's the official documents of the Secretary of State of Minnesota. Here it is. Vance Boulter. I'll say it correctly. This scumbag is still at large, but he was a appointee of Tim Walz. So if you're an appointee of Tim Walz, if you have no
Oh, the
King's
man that
protest
said
signs
get
in the back of your
meaner.
car, you're probably not a Republican, right? Well, it gets worse. Here we go. Former appointee of Tim Walz saw deadly shooting Minnesota lawmakers, and her husband had no King's flyer in the car. A reminder that Tim Walz did say that he was friends with shooters in a very strange and very unfortunate response to the a question during a...
And why?
Yeah, I sat in that office with those Sandy Hook parents. I've become friends with school shooters. I've seen it. Look, the NRA...
Not
What the fuck? I became friends with school shooters? Why are you even saying that? And you are the same dumbass shoving tampons in boys' asses, wanting tampons in the boys' bathroom, while telling all your black and brown people that white supremacy. Meanwhile, your dumbass is white, you fucking moron. He looks like he just looks like a fag. And not, oh, just gay. No, he looks like a fag. You know what I mean? I don't care. I mean, because I have gay friends. I know gay people. I used to work with gay people. But there's a difference between a gay human being, just like, you know, people have, I call it ghetto fatigue, but other people call it black fatigue. I don't call it that because I'm not tired of black people. No. It's the ratchet, the hood, the sorry, the no respect, the disrespect. That is it. And whenever I say the F word, I don't mean my gay people. I don't mean that. I mean, this is a douchebag. That's what I'm saying. I'll just call him a douchebag.
The vice president's debate. He was asked about firearms, and he said, "I become friends with school shooters." Okay.
That's true. Yeah, I can't put the gays down like that. Calling Tim Walz a fag is putting down gay people. I can't do that.
I'm not saying their best, but I get, you know. So Tim Walz was friends with shooters after all. Goodness gracious. Vance Bolter, the alleged killer of Melissa Portman, serves as the deputy director of security patrols at Guard Security Services in Minnesota. Reports say he was impersonating law enforcement. This explains.
Okay, yeah, that's exactly what I paused it for, is to say that's how he pulled it off. That's how he had a car with lights in it. That's how he had the outfit, because he did security.
So,
and this is something becoming more and more.
Here.
Now, to all my young people watching this, did y'all ever hear of the Blue Light Bandit? Probably not. What it was is back in the day, and I want to say he was in North Carolina, but I can't be 100% sure. But it was a guy that had a blue light in his car, and he would cut it on, and people would pull over, and then I think he was either graping them, or he was deleting them, I guess you could say. Eliminated, whatever. But anyhow, it seems like that is becoming more and more of a thing with all these security and wannabe cops.
Looking car. This would be for private.
Have confidence
security.
That your home will be protected.
So now we're getting some more pieces of information
here.
Tim Walz was going to be speaking at the No Kings rally in Minneapolis today.
I bet you he won't
bastard. Now. The No Kings killer who just committed multiple assassinations of Tim Walz's political enemies. Now Tim Walz is honoring and endorsing the No Kings rally in Minneapolis, the face of evil. But it gets worse. Here we go.
What?
In case you're wondering if this person is a Republican or a Democrat, this assassin, let's add more logs to the fire here, the left-wing fire. Bolter is allegedly a suspect in the shooting. Two Minnesota Democrat state legislators and their spouses. He was the CEO of a government-subsidized, U.S. federal government-subsidized private protection agency.
See, there you go.
Red Lions Group. Red Lions Group received $20,000 in small business loans. He was listed as the CEO of the Red Lions Group. What is the point of this group? Oh, to relocate Africans to Minnesota. You can't even make this stuff up.
See, guys, all of this is just a straight setup. They're rigging shit. They're doing it on purpose. They're literally just picking people up from Africa and flying them to Minnesota. just to get them in their country illegally, and then they're going to give them some free Medicaid, free health care, and they're also stealing money at the same time. They're doing it for a reason. It's all a setup.
How much have we gone on and on and on about how Minneapolis isn't Minneapolis anymore because they moved Somalia to Minneapolis?
Exactly.
Right? But now
Thank you.
we get this. This is active in the Democratic Republic of Congo, the Red Lions group. He's highlighted on the Minnesota African Union website.
And I'm going to tell you now, guys, I don't care what y'all think about me, but the whole Somalian thing, I'm sorry. If you're here illegally, you need to go. But definitely from countries that despise America. They fucking hate us. They want us dead. Somalians do not like us. And then you got, what's Ilhan Omar? Yeah, she needs to go. She needs to get out. Her and her brother that she's married to. Whatever, man. This country cannot fall due to a bunch of illegal fucks.
The Minnesota African Union website states that a statewide umbrella organization that is focused on the well-being of the immigrant community.
The immigrant community should be
right?
in their
With Democrats
immigrant
who
country.
voted against health care for illegal immigrants. Can you imagine how much this guy's funding has now been cut? How his group now is defunct after you.
That's it right there. Because her taking away illegal migrants' health care is going to hurt his income, so he kills her, even though the bill is passed. They already got it in legislation. Be mad about it. Who cares? Now that you deleted her, not only, okay, so she hurt your little company. She hurt your little bringing Africans in illegally. Guess what? Now your ass about to be with some real Africans, if you know what I'm saying. You about to catch that prison life, homeboy.
For USAID cuts and the votes against criminal alien health care. Former Minnesota State House Leader Hortman, Democrat, was shot and killed in a politically motivated shooting after she voted to defund criminal aliens receiving health care. Butler was reportedly appointed to the governor's workforce board. Okay, so now he's part of a African resettlement group.
Fuck no.
In order to deal with the well-being of African immigrants to
I'm sorry, bruh. Immigrants, you know what an immigrant really is? It's when they migrate to different places due to that's where the food is or the weather's killed crops. So you migrate to the warmer areas where the animals might be roaming, the crops might grow. So you migrate, but you don't stay there forever, because you got to migrate back. This whole immigrant, migrant, that's not what you are. You're an invader. You're just coming here for free shit. You're not going across an entire ocean because you ain't got your grass growing. That's not what it is. Dude, man, and I know that's a dumb way to put it, but it's true. What you coming all the way over here for? You could just move a couple of hours north or south from where you live at over there in Somalia. But you don't want that. You want the American dream, but you got these evil white people here that made it what it is, right? Mm-hmm.
Minnesota. Got it? Starting to make sense now? The left kills the CEO of United Healthcare. They killed 2 Israeli ambassador staffers. They attempt twice to assassinate the president. Doxed and attempted murder of ICE and police agents all week. And now kills a Minnesota state rep and her husband.
That was on their team. That was a Democrat with them. That just tells you she hadn't even left the Democrat Party, but she did not fall in line with destroying her country even more than what they've already destroyed it and her state. But now, just look, the Democrat Party is going to start imploding on itself. And that's another thing, guys, and I'm going to make it short. We're almost done here. But, yeah, this whole illegal immigrant thing, people are getting to their limit. Because the ones doing the protests, they're not really at their limit. They're getting paid to be out there. And then you got the idiots that are out there thinking that's what everyone's there for.
But when it full-blown domestic terrorist
when it comes down to it,
that's right.
Americans are going to stand
Donald Trump,
up.
here, ladies and gentlemen, I've been briefed. The terrible shooting that took place in Minnesota, which appears to be the targeted attack of the state lawmakers. Our Attorney General, the FBI, are investigating the situation. Will be prosecuting anybody involved to the full extent of the law. Such horrific violence will not be tolerated in the United States of America. God bless the great people of Minnesota.
Take out Tim Walz, too.
Says President Trump. Bongino confirming the FBI is on the ground.
And I don't mean take him out. I mean take him, put him in prison.
This clearly is the motive. Right? Yeah. Incredible. And he had no king's signs in the back of his vehicle. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the full update from a press conference that just wrapped with the law enforcement agencies in Minnesota explaining what they now know, but straight up saying we're like, stay away from the No Kings rallies. The law enforcement say he had No Kings posters in the back of his car. Stay away from these rallies. This was a politically motivated assassination.
Yep.
And all of the evidence points to this guy being a radical left-winger who was appointed by Tim Walz.
And you know, had they kept the No Kings rally here in Greensboro here in North Carolina, I had thought about going to it, you know, just to record it. I wasn't going to be in it, and, you know, but at the same time, I was like, you know what? If I go, I'll get in trouble. I better not. But then they moved it anyway. They moved it out to High Point, and I ain't driving out to High Point.
A dark day. They become a domestic terrorist organization.
Yeah, the Democrat Party
Back to our
is
top
domestic.
story. Law enforcement officers are in an active manhunt in Minnesota for suspects in the targeted attack on state legislators. We are waiting a news conference this hour. My colleague Brooke Taylor is tracking this for us. Hello, Brooke.
Hi, Mike. Well, all of this is happening right now as those No King protests are expected
It's not a
across the
protest.
country. So officials there are telling people do not attend these protests.
It is
There's
a
a
fucking
shelter
riot.
in place and a massive manhunt underway for this killer. Overnight, Democratic State Representative Melissa Hortman and her husband, they were killed at their home in Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. Just a few miles away from there in Chaplin, Democratic Senator John Hoffman and his wife were also shot. They are expected to be okay.
Oh, wait a minute. I didn't realize there was another couple also shot. I thought every time I heard about the couple, I thought it was meaning just her and her husband. I did not know there was another couple. Oh, my God.
Now, Governor Tim Walz, he is calling this a politically motivated assassination.
Yeah, politically motivated from the Democratic Party against the Democratic Party. You know what he wanted to do? He wanted to make it out that it was a Republican, but it
When
ain't.
officers got to Hortman's home around 3 a.m., they came face to face with the shooter who managed to escape after. Listen to this.
They noticed that there was a police vehicle in the driveway with the emergency lights on, and what appeared to be a police officer at the door coming out of the house. When our officers confronted him, the individual immediately fired upon the officers, who exchanged gunfire, and the suspect retreated back into the home.
So that means they got there pretty quick, or that dude was rummaging around the house. Something else is going on there, unless they have their own security detail. Like I said, they sit here as Congress people, and they got people watching their house, staying around. That way, if something happens, they'll be there. Because how are the police pulling up and this dude is coming out of the door? Unless the house is being watched, they were able to call either as it happened or right after it happened. And the police just happened to be nearby. Because, I mean, you would think in these rich neighborhoods, you shouldn't need all that police. But since you're letting all these illegal immigrants and all these thugs in here, and then also pushing ideology that is radical bullshit, I mean, guys, this is insane. The Democratic Party has pushed lies for decades on decades on decades. They gave black people welfare. Well, not just black people, but majority. It was for that. White people got on it. Yes, there's plenty of white people on welfare. Not saying that. But the intention was they were getting it to buy the black vote, and at the same time to destroy the black family, because at that time black families had a higher success rate on marriage and everything. They were doing better than white people. They were doing the best. They were working hard. They were busting ass. They were buying houses. They were living like every other American was living, until the Democrat Party, the home of the KKK, decided to say, we'll give you welfare, we'll give you a free place, we'll give you some food stamps, but the man cannot be in the house. The man can't be there, because if he's there, you'll lose it all. And that's exactly what they did. Guys, let me know what you thought, and let me know what you think. Do you think the Democrat Party did it on purpose? Let me know, please. Also, let me know what you want me to react to. I hope you all are safe. Don't go to the No Kings riots. And please, guys, just be safe. And I will see y'all on the next one.